Hello, welcome to another episode of Life with Jake. The other day I was driving along in my 2004 Chevy Trailblazer and the HVAC wasn't working in it. And I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I looked up a bunch of articles on the internet and videos saying that you can unplug some fuses and reset everything and recalibrate these actuators. And that wasn't working. I tried all different ways of doing it, unplugging the battery, unplugging the fuses and everything, waiting variable amounts of time to do it, and it just wasn't working. It was just throwing hot air out of the defrost in the floor vents. Well, I decided I'd tear the dash apart and stuff, and I got these two actuators. There's actually three actuators on the driver's side, but I fixed the other one, which was the temperature for the driver's side temperature actuator. But I figured I'd show you what I did on these since I still have them out. And what you have to do is open these up. There's a couple clips. You just take a flathead and you kind of pry these clips up like so. Okay. And then this top casing comes off like that. And there's this motor and these gears and a sensor over here that senses the rotation. So what I did was, at first I thought it had to do with the rotation of this big gear here, which wasn't the case. It doesn't matter as long as it calibrates and it knows where it's spinning. But I took this out, and I noticed when I took this gear out, there was a crack in the gear. And there's some splines on this metal piece right here that fit into this plastic gear. And when there's this crack, it allows room for this metal to spin inside the gear, and that was causing my issue. So I decided to take some glue and glue the gear back to this metal piece and glue that crack and everything, and it should work. So let's put all this back together. And all three actuators are just like that. And I feel like if this works out, I'll save a few dollars there, about $50 at the parts store. So that's a real simple fix. Just buy a $2 bottle of glue and glue them back together. But a lot of people are afraid to open this up and mess with them because they're kind of complicated, but not really if you know what you're doing. So that's what it is. And I like when I put it back together, just put it back in the center there. And then everything should just click back together. And there it is. This one is the defrost actuator, and this one has this gear. It's actually the same thing as this one, but it has this gear here. This is the mode door actuator, and it had the same symptom too. The gear wasn't cracked on it, but the splines were messed up to where this metal piece was just rotating inside that gear. But now it should work. And what happens is this little pin here, it'll hit against this wall, and then it'll sense that it's the end of the travel there, and then it'll go to the other end and hit against that wall, and then it knows its range of motion. But when the gear when the splines in this gear are messed up, it'll just continually spin and it doesn't know where to stop. And that's why it can't recalibrate itself. So hopefully this is a good tutorial and it will help everybody out, save some money. But I've got 3 of these things and they were all bad with the same symptom, and that would have been a bunch of money, about $150 before tax. So I'm always good for saving money, so hopefully this works out. Like I said, the temperature control actuator had the same problem and it seems to be working pretty well, so hopefully that works out. Thanks for watching my video.